NASCAR, what am I the thorn in your eye? Too much sun, another NASCAR, what am I the thorn in your eye? Too much sun, another NASCAR, I've lost again, but I gotta maintain. Too much sun, another NASCAR, what am I the thorn in your eye?
Hello everybody and welcome to the final race of the regular season, race number 26 of season 2, NASCAR Walmart Cup Series. After this race, we will have a mostly set up chase for the championship. 12 drivers will get into the chase via top 10 in points after this race, as well as the 2 wild cards, potentially 13 if somebody who isn't a wild card driver or not in the top 10 wins this race, then they will get in the chase as a 13th driver. Hi, I'm Levi McIntyre, aka ThrashManiac99, the voice of NASCAR Walmart Cup Series, here to welcome you here to the Lime Rock 400 at Lime Rock Raceway Park. Now, we are back at Lime Rock for the second time ever in the history of NASCAR Walmart Cup Series. We had such a great race here the last time, we decided we're going to run here again this season. Now, the chase situation heading into this race, the top 10 in points as they head into the race, is Mason Bromer leading by only 10 points over Hunter Bell. And then after Hunter Bell, it's Parker Wright, Gabe Williams, Austin Talley, Joshua Collard, Betty Johnson, Chase Oliver, Kris Wascher, and Jessica Shelton. Now, the drivers who are locked into the chase from being high enough up in points to where if they have a bad day or not, they can stay in that chase. Those drivers who are locked in are Mason Bromer, Hunter Bell, and Parker Wright. Mathematically, Gabe Williams could finish dead last. David Rivera could win this race. Gabe Williams, or it depends on how other drivers do, then mathematically Gabe Williams could drop out of the top 10, but it's highly unlikely. But nonetheless, here's a look at your starting lineup for today's race. That is a look at your starting lineup. David Rivera on the pole with Kyle Matthews second. David Rivera comes into this race just one spot out of the top 10. Kyle Matthews comes into this race in the 41st position in points. But here we go. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys and girls. Who's going to get the edge? Kyle Matthews got a better jump on that start than David Rivera did. But Rivera's going to try to run the low line to try to get past the 5, but now Kyle Matthews is going to have the advantage on that line running the inside around that turn, but now Rivera is going to have the advantage right there. Who's going to get the edge in this corner? It looks like David Rivera will. And now he's going to clear Kyle Matthews, as now that opens room for Kris Wascher to come into the fray. Meanwhile, David Rivera is most likely going to lead this first lap. Let's take a look around the back of the pack, see if any incidents have taken place, and so far, nothing. So that's a good sign for things to come as David Rivera leads lap 1. If he wins this race, he will be locked into the chase no matter what. Same could be said for Kyle Matthews. So, depending for David Rivera, if he wins, he would get in the top 10 in points, and he would still be locked in, so it'd be the 12 drivers. But say if Kyle Matthews right here wins, and he's 41st in points, if he wins, he will be locked into the chase as a 13th driver. So that is some scenarios. Those are some scenarios that could happen here today at Lime Rock in terms of additional drivers in the chase. But let's take a look and see where our points leader Mason Bromer's running. According to the scoring, he has scored in the 12th spot. This is the best race he has had in quite some time in terms of performance, as he has had a rough few races as of late. Let's take a look and see where Hunter Bell is running. He is currently in 24th spot. What about Parker Wright? No, I clicked the wrong button. Parker Wright. He is in the 19th spot. What about Gabe Williams? There he is back in 26, according to the scoring. And then the final driver in the top 5 in points, Austin Talley. He is in the 22nd spot. So all those cars from 2nd through 5th are almost around the same portion of the track together. As we now head back up to the front, where David Rivera continues to lead, but Kyle Matthews is trying to close in and try to get around for that lead. Now we know for certain these cars are going to have to come down pit road at least once, if possible twice, but most likely only once. And now Kyle Matthews trying to get the bottom line going. Kyle Matthews trying to go for that win for himself in order to get into the chase. And now he's going to clear David Rivera for the lead. Our first lead change of this entire race. Kyle Matthews gets the lead over David Rivera. And then we got Kris Wascher in the 3rd spot. And look who is in 4th. Tommy Mooney. 3 of the 4 Hinder cars are running inside the top 5 at the moment. The only one who isn't is Austin Talley, which we're going to look for right now to see where he's running. He is going to be scored in the 20th position at the current moment. So again, if Kyle Matthews wins this race, he will be the 13th driver in the chase. And if David Rivera finishes around where he is right now, finishes ahead of a couple of guys up ahead of him in points who may not be having great runs today, he could get in the top 10 and make the chase. So the guys to keep an eye out for in terms of who could fall out and get into the top 10 would be drivers such as Betty Johnson, Chase Oliver, Kris Wascher, Jessica Shelton, David Rivera, Henrietta Fitzwater, Cody Llamas, Henrietta, Austin Weiner, Roo McIntire, and Eric Burton. So that's about 9 cars we need to look out for. And speaking of those 9, let's take a look and see where Chase Oliver is running. He is currently in the 11th position. What about Austin Weiner? He is all the way back in 39th, as well as Jessica Shelton in 40th. So we don't need to look for her. Cody Llamas is in the... Actually, 36 is Weiner, then 37th is Shelton. 39th is Cody Llamas, I believe. Yeah, 39th. Now, who's the last car left? Oh, Parker Wright's on pit road. He's on pit road. I think this might be a green flag pit stop coming our way. Let's keep an eye out here up front, see what's going to happen. So far, nobody coming down. I guess Parker Wright must have had something go wrong with his car, and he had to come down and repair it. I don't know. Or he could be just trying to pit ahead of everybody else. I have no idea. But now, the next person we need to look for is Henrietta Fitzwater. Let's see where she's running. She is currently in the 17th spot. Then the next person we need to look for is Roo McIntire, and he's running right behind her in the 18th position. Next up is Betty Johnson. Betty Johnson's the next car, and she is currently in the 28th spot. David Rivera, I would assume, is still in the top 3, and he's still running in the 2nd spot, as nobody's coming down pit road this time by, which means if these cars pit next time by, they should be able to make it the rest of the way on fuel, depending on what happens the rest of the race. Alex Hawkins is the last car on the track in 41st, as Kyle Matthews trying to go for his 2nd win of the season and of his career. He hasn't won a race since the Daytona 500, and gradually, ever since, he's been free falling in points. He comes into this race 41st in the point standings, and I believe dead last is Danny Wells, if I can think at the moment. So this would be a big victory for Kyle Matthews if he wins this race and makes it into the chase. That would be big for the 5 car, who's had, ever since the 500, a very, very, very dismal season. Very dismal, I should say. And there's one more guy we should check out that's noteworthy, and that's Joshua Collard. He currently is in the 40th spot. Mathematically, depending on how some drivers outside the top 10 looking in finish, and Joshua Collard got dead last, Collard could fall out of the top 10 in points and not make the chase, depending on what happens. Let's take a look and see where Jessica Shelton, there she is, just a little bit up ahead in the 36th spot along with Austin Weiner. Let's take a look and see how a couple of our wild card drivers are running at the moment. PJ Williams, he is currently in the 15th spot, and currently the 2nd wild card driver would be Seth Cole, and he's running in 33rd. As long as nobody ahead of these guys, or mostly with PJ Williams, as long as there's nobody ahead of him in points who picks up a 2nd win, then Seth Cole and PJ Williams will be the 2 wildcard drivers to make it into the chase. Let's go back up to the front where Kyle Matthews continues to lead, but David Rivera is trying to close the gap on the 5, and they had identical laps last time. They both ran a 54.714 that last lap, so both of these cars are running pretty equal on the track right now. But let's see if they're going to come down pit road this time by. No, they are not. Let's see how their lap times are this time. David Rivera is a little bit faster than Kyle Matthews, so David Rivera's clearly got a faster car at the moment. And they are inching their way through the race, and they have not made a pit stop yet. Let's take a look and see how our top 20 stands. Actually, let's go through only top 15. It's Kyle Matthews, the leader. 2nd, David Rivera. 3rd is Ian Dutta. 4th is Kris Wascher. 5th is Sam Young. 6th is Tommy Mooney. 7th, Zachary Fitzwater. 8th, Justin Talampas. 9th, Matt McIntyre. 10th is Chase Oliver. 11th is Ken Thero. 12th, Mason Bromer. 13th, Alex Pedro. 14th, PJ Williams. 15th is Brody Talley. And the leaders are still not coming to pit road. And David Rivera is still trying to close the gap. He gained a 10th on Kyle Matthews that lap, so he's clearly got a faster car than Kyle Matthews. It's just his timing of moves seems to be a little bit off depending on how Kyle Matthews is running, but so far today we have not had any wrecks. Could this be Watkins Glen all over again? Although Parker Wright is a lap down because he had to come and make an unscheduled pit stop, but he's still running on the track. But let's see if these cars would have to end up coming down pit road at some point. I would believe they would. And they're not coming down this time by, neither is the rest of the top 5. Let's see the lap times this time. A 55.319. Rivera actually loses 0.08 of a second on Kyle Matthews, and it's 3 to go here at Lime Rock. So David Rivera is going to have to try hard and time his moves fine and hit his marks in order to get around the 5 of Kyle Matthews. Rivera's going to have to try to dive lower on the track to get by the 5 of Kyle Matthews. Let's see if he can do it here. No, he can't at this time. Both of these cars are running almost the same times, pretty much. Rivera had more faster times than Matthews, but that last lap, Matthews had a faster lap time. Let's see if they're coming down pit road this time. No, they are not. Are these cars gonna try to go the whole race without pitting? Let's see, 55.7, 55.647. So Rivera is still running faster now than Kyle, but he's only got less than 2 to go to find a line to get by the 5 of Matthews, and he's right there on his back bumper. So he's clearly running faster, and now here he comes to the inside. David Rivera is going to try to get past the 5 of Kyle Matthews for the lead and win this race, get his second career win and the second win of the season, and get into chase. And now he's cleared the 5. But are these cars going to come down pit road this time? They're getting ready to head into that part of the track where you do come down pit road. No, they are not coming down. And now David Rivera is going to take the white flag. White flag is out for David Rivera to get his second win of the season and of his career and make the chase for the championship. Kyle Matthews is not giving up, though. He is right there on the back bumper of David Rivera. He's going to have only probably one shot right here in this turn. He doesn't get down low quick enough. It depends on if Rivera makes a mistake here in the next few corners. I don't think Matthews is going to be able to get the 6. Let's see, they're coming through the bus stop. And they're getting ready to enter through the final turns. I don't think Kyle Matthews is going to have anything for David Rivera. So coming out of the final turn for the last time, David Rivera gets his second win of the season of his career, and he's officially a chase driver. David Rivera will win the Lime Rock 400 at Lime Rock. Great performance by that 6 team. Despite Kyle Matthews leading for a lot of the race, Rivera somehow got his car together and he got around the 5. Tough break for Kyle Matthews, dominated the race, but it just wasn't enough to keep Rivera down. So Kyle Matthews will miss the chase, at least for the moment. He could still win the LCQ at Talladega. It depends on what happens at the LCQ race, but David Rivera is officially a chase driver. And speaking of the results, let's take a look at the results. David Rivera gets his second win of the season and of his career and is officially in the chase for the championship. He wins here at Lime Rock. Kyle Matthews, so close to getting his second win of his season and of his career and get in the chase after a dismal season since winning the Daytona 500. But he's going to come away with second. Still props to Kyle Matthews. Great performance by him. Ian Dutta gets a solid third place finish. Kris Wascher, great run of 4th. And rounding out the top 5 was Sam Young. Great run for him. Zachary Fitzwater gets yet another top 10 finish in 6th. 7th goes to Justin Talampas. Great run for that rookie. 8th, Chase Oliver, and I can say Chase Oliver is officially in the chase. Same for Kris Wascher. 9th is Matt McIntyre. Great run for him. And Ken Thero gets a great top 10 finish of 10th. Then the rest of the top 20 was Mason Bromer, Alex Pedro, Tommy Mooney, Roo McIntire, P.J. Williams, Henrietta Fitzwater, Dylan Thero, Charles Jackson, Austin Talley, and Eric Burton. Then the rest of the top 30 was Brody Talley, Gabe Williams, Jecko Knight, Sonny Hammond, Annie Thomas, Preston Plord, Hunter Bell, Ryan Anderson Jr., Theo Stegall, Betty Johnson. The rest of the top 40 was Dylan Young, Seth Cole, Michael Norman, Austin Weiner, Jessica Shelton, Joshua Collard, Barney Taylor, Cody Llamas, Danny Wells, Trent Dunham. And then the final 2 cars to finish were Alex Hawkins, and the only car lapped down but finished the race was Parker Wright. So with that said, PJ Williams and Seth Cole have officially made the chase via the wild card spots. But ladies and gentlemen, that will do it for Lime Rock. We still have the LCQ at Talladega with the drivers who didn't make the chase have one final chance to get in. But here is your results, rookie points, and overall point standings, as well as the chase points heading in to the first chase race at New Hampshire. But until we get to the LCQ at Talladega, this is Levi McIntyre saying so long, everybody.